What's up, everybody? Time for part 3 in Finding Peace in a World Gone Mad. This is all about having a strategy for your life to maintain your natural state, which is peace. We all long for it. People are chasing it. But a lot of times people are their own worst enemies, wanting something and praying for something, asking for something, and then not doing anything about it, and then wondering, why don't things ever change for me? But in this world today, if you don't have a strategy for how you're going to keep your mind still and how you're going to keep your emotions in check and how you're going to keep your energy the way you want it to be, the world will take care of that for you. I call it your set point. Each one of us has a real natural, unique set point. It's the way we came into the world with our gifts and our talents and then all the skills you picked up along the way. And it's a very natural state of mind. It's where you feel like everything is all right in my world. And there's 4 elements to that, 4 energy states that we've got to be very deliberate about. The first one is mentally. The second one is emotionally. The third one is physically. And the fourth one is spiritually. And those 4 quadrants make up my set point. So when things are going awesome and everything is good, your money is good and your family is good and your marriage is good, your kids are good, your relationships are good, your church is good, one of those kind of times, it's not that hard, and you kind of have a set point. You kind of groove in on that. And then as good things happen, you kind of spin up a little bit, and that's a blast. And then as tough things happen, of course, you come down a little bit, serious energy. But as things start to normalize, you get back to that set point. There's even studies that go back and they interview Powerball winners. Everybody wants to win the lottery. I do, but I don't ever play. You can't win something you don't play, but that's a whole nother story. But anyway, they go back and they interview these fabulously rich people that just bought a number and it hit. And then they go back a year later to find out, how's your life? Are you happy? How's your family? How's your job? Probably don't have one. And over half are miserable and they wish they had never won at all. And you're thinking to yourself, yeah, put me in that experiment. All of us think that if we had what we want physically, outside of ourselves, give me that money so I can get the house and all my toys, and man, my relationship would be great if I didn't have all this stress and pressure and financial, you know what I'm saying? And it's an illusion, because wherever you go, there you are. So whatever your set point is today, now understand this, you can have a natural set point, but then you can stay out of it for so long that you establish a new one. And see, and that's harder to change. It's tougher to change habits that go back a long, long way, the way you do life. And that's why self-help is such a booming industry, because people are not happy with their natural state. But why would a person that gets so much wealth, I don't got to work anymore, I can buy whatever I want, I can travel the world, I can just go and devote myself to what I love. It seems like a perfect life. But the problem is, however happy you are today, give you $148 million in about a year for it to settle in, and you're going to be the same place you are. But then it turns out that they're really depressed, because they're like, man, if I can't be happy with this, and there's divorces and even suicides. And the truth is, when really, really tough things happen, those times in life where everything turns upside down and you go real low for a while, a season, after about a year, they come back and, if they asked you, how you doing today? Everything's okay. I made it through that. And there's certain things that can happen, changes forever, ever. I'm not talking about that. So there's a set point today. And if you're in it, then stay in it. But if you're not, think about it. Average person, their alarm goes off and it's their phone. And it's right next to them. Dee, 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 dee. You reach over and you see it, and then you got to start talking to yourself about, man, it's time to get up. And immediately the worries of the day begin as you pick up your phone to see if you have any texts. And then, of course, you're going to check your email. You're getting ready to do your thing, get ready. You might look at social media, whatever. It's just, and I can't speak for you, but most people, man, that's the first thing. They're going to connect to a device, and they haven't connected to themselves yet. You know what I'm saying? And so the information in those texts or emails or missed calls or social media posts, you are letting that program your mindset for the day, mentally. And so those that have found a mental peace, even in a world gone mad with economy and politics and race and religion and gender and all the things that vie for our emotional and mental and spiritual and physical attention, with all that going on, there are some people who established a process so that they can get back to their set point, which is happy, joyous, and free, calm, and peaceful, and relaxed. And you're like, man, show me that. You don't see a lot of that in the world today. Got to have a deliberate process. You have a business plan, I hope, and you got to stick to that. What if we had a plan in every quadrant? What if today, mentally, you had a routine, and this morning you went through it to reboot your mind and set it in the direction that you want? And that can involve a little bit of reading. It can be involved a little bit of imagination, which is a great way to start your day. Just take some time and relax and utilize the unique ability to imagine. Creatures don't have that. My dog can't think about what's going to happen tomorrow, whether it's good or bad. He stays in the moment, remembers yesterday. We have this fascinating ability to imagine the life of our dreams or our worst nightmares. Albert Einstein said, imagination is more important than knowledge. So today, as you go about your day in those little free moments and you start kind of daydreaming, you are imagining. So the question is, are you going to imagine bad news and things that might happen that hadn't even showed up? Or are you going to imagine the life of your dreams? See, a few minutes of imagination deliberately and intentionally to start your day can set your mind on a wonderful state. And then as the things throughout the day vie for your attention and even beat you up a bit, it's all right. You got into your set point and you didn't let everybody else program that. What about emotionally? Deliberate, intentional strategy for emotional health and well-being. That is your relationships. It's a lot of other things, but your relationships. Are you intentional in your marriage? I mean, really, do you plan out all of it? Do you cook with your wife? I'm working on that one. I'm her sous chef is what she calls me because she's the boss of the kitchen. Do you have special date nights? And not just once a month or once a week. I mean, just getting intentional about how are we going to spend time together tonight? What's the love language? Is it physical touch, acts of service, words of affirmation, quality time, or gifts? Are you speaking a love language to your friends and family? See, this is deliberate, premeditated plan. Or otherwise, your emotions are going to be all over the page. If somebody sends a text and it gets you out of your state and spins you up or knocks you down and you haven't really booted it, imagine 30, 40 days in a row if you practiced a real mental process. Imagine life of your dreams, writing down what you want, journaling to start your day, emotionally getting into the music, man, light a candle. And I'm not talking about you got to go into a seance or be a guru. I'm just talking about set an emotionally pleasing environment. It can be 10 minutes, it can be 30, it can be an hour, whatever you want, but it is a process to get my mind on the trajectory that I want it today, and to get my emotions into a good, peaceful state. I call it changing the channel. We teach these things in prisons. Okay, imagine being in a prison, maximum security prison, gangs run it, and fear is present all the time. Stress, anxiety, guilt, shame. Can you imagine? But they're learning to develop this process. Have a plan, and you'd be amazed how hungry they are. What about spiritually? Do you have a spiritual plan? And church obviously can be a huge part of it, or whatever your faith tradition is. But do you have a meditation plan? Are you getting inspired? Are you getting your heart and your mind connected to your spirit? See, spirit is about purpose. Spirit is about where did I come from? Why am I here? And where am I headed? Spirit is about being connected to my source. And if I cover it up with all kinds of worries and dreads and fears and panics and then all of a sudden, man, this beautiful ball of light, this spirit is covered up. It's your natural state, stability and peace, a sense of calm. When things happen, you can get really joyful when other people roll their eyes and say, I don't get it. Man, when you watch a movie, you can get teary-eyed and get goosebumps when somebody else sitting there going, I don't get it. And you can be in tune spiritually. It doesn't have to be religion. As a matter of fact, spirituality needs to be present for religion to make a difference. So mentally, get your mind in check. You operate and you manage your brain. Don't let your brain manage you. Emotionally, man, draw it to your relationships and also the way that you feel. Make sure that you spend a few minutes in the morning setting your channel where you want it to be. And then as you pop out of it during the day, you can change the channel back in. But you got to anchor it in the morning. And then what about physically? You know, we are demanding a lot of our physical vessels these days, and stress is very destructive. It's a huge, what's my word? You know, it's involved in heart disease, cancer, suicide, all kinds of other, the immunity system doesn't work well when you stress it because all these stress hormones are warring against your immune system, and we catch colds or we catch, you know, hopefully not the virus. Protect yourselves. As far as masks and stuff go, if we take the politics away from it, my wife and I just decided to tell people, you know what, don't be offended, but we're going to go virtual or wear a mask just because we don't feel like getting sick. We don't have to go deep into it and say, oh, because of this and this, or I don't believe where it comes from, or what do we call it, or how does it spread? We basically just, you know, would rather not get sick, and we're going to respect that. You know what I'm saying? If you, pre-pandemic, if you called me up and said, kid, what's up? Do you want to hang out? Sure. Where do you want to meet? Let's meet at your office. Oh, by the way, I have the flu. I would have said, no, bro, let's get on the phone or get on a Zoom. But we didn't use Zoom back then. And so I don't even know why I went off on that. Oh, yeah, physically. You got to have a plan. Man, we look forward to walking the dogs after work every day if it's not too cold, you know, and it's not raining. And so, as we kind of wrap here, do you have a plan? Because when the pressure is intensified and anxiety is on the rise, bad news is all around you, those that don't have a plan are really setting themselves up to be very, very unhappy. And then guess what we do when we're unhappy? We begin to talk about it. And we think stories. I can't speak for you, but when you get unhappy, you start rolling around stories in your head that are not happy. And so the brain learns that this is how we're supposed to be and produces the chemistry around it. Then we start telling stories to people. How you doing? I'm pissed, you know, or on Facebook, getting into a fight with somebody, you know. And we're actually chasing peace, but we're doing all the things to keep it covered up. And so today, man, get deliberate. Take 5 minutes and walk out into the sun and then just feel it and watch what it does to your energy. Connect yourself to yourself today and decide how you want to be and how you want to live and the way that you want to vibe. And then watch what happens to your business. Watch what happens to your relationships. Watch what happens to your money, whatever it is that's got you all freaked out. When you get into a good state and open the flow, good things come, or at least things that are going to help propel you. Doesn't always feel good, but what you need will show up. I'm going to keep rambling if I don't cut it off now. Thank you so much. Part 3 today was be intentional and deliberate. Next week, Tuesday, 10 o'clock, we'll hit part 4. God bless you guys. See you on the field. I did this. It doesn't make much sense. Peace out.